type 1 muscle fibers like ST, slow twitch. And I told you that how these muscles look. They're pretty small and like for what they are, like marathon running. And now we want to talk about type 2A muscle fibers like FOGT. People having these are like swimmers, like I don't know which discipline exactly this guy is swimming, but if you think about swimming 1 kilometers butterfly, you know you will need energy to perform these activity, but you need a little bit of endurance that you don't drown after 100 meters. So for that you will need type 2A muscle fibers. They sometimes refer to as fast twitch oxidative fibers. Some people are saying yes, you have type 1 and you have type type 2. But if you want to be more precise, you will have to tell that you have type 1 muscles and type 2A and type 2B. So type 2A possess characteristics of both type A and type 2B fibers, like they are relatively good in performance endurance, but they are also relatively good in generating force. So they're adapted for activities that require moderate force and endurance. So it's like both endurance and force. 5K running, 1 kilometer butterfly swimming, or if you think about other sports who need both. They contain a moderate number of mitochondria for the energy and myoglobin for the oxygen, and enabling both oxidative and glycolytic energy pathways. So they generate ATP through a combination of oxidative and glycolytic metabolism. And they contract more quickly than type 1 fibers and are relatively resistant to fatigue. And they are suited for activities like middle distance running or swimming, like I told you in this picture. So you will also have type 2B muscle fibers who are really produce the power. So if you look at this picture, these are power muscles. So if you know him, that's Robert Firstman. He's really known for his muscles. He's called Quadzilla, and because of his immense quads, and he's a sprinter, like a sprinter for cycling, and he will really need power for short distance. So these muscles are adapted for short bursts of intense activity and high force generation, and they contain fewer mitochondria and myoglobin compared to type 1 and type 2A fibers, and they generate ATP primarily through glycolytic metabolism, which doesn't require oxygen. So in the previous chapters I told you you will need, for most contraction you will need oxygen to perform contraction. But if you really want to generate force, using the way of generating force using oxygen, it's too slow and not powerful. So the body is capable of performing generating force without using oxygen, but not for a long time, only for short bursts of really intensive powers. So they contract rapidly, not fast, rapidly, really fast, and generate high force, but fatigue relatively quickly. So he will be able to produce 2000 watts, but not for 1 hour or 10 minutes or 1 minute. It's like for 10 seconds. So they will be, I don't know, either exactly 10 or 15, but not a minute. But they are capable of producing high powers, high intensity, rapidly contracting, but not for a really short period of time. And they are suited for activities that demand explosive power, such as sprinting in Usain Bolt. If you look at sprinters And these muscles, they have big muscles, or like weightlifting athletes who will need for a really short period of time many or really big powers. For these activities you will have these muscles. So as I said, you will have type 1, type 2A, and type 2B. It's like endurance, power, the middle of both. You will have the red ones for oxygen and myoglobin, which you don't have here, and here you have like 50-50. And it's also, if you look at these graphics, where you have on the y-axis the power, on the x-axis the time. Over time you will have much power, but if you go for time there won't be power. Here you will have in the middle, you will have like for 5 minutes power, and then no power, and here you will have power the entire way. And these are the 3 types, the 3 different types you will have to know when you talk about skeletal muscle. And these 3 types have different training. So that's the last part. Now let's do a quick summary, and then you will have to apply your knowledge.